Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Triple N Media. I am Dr. Nik Nikam, a cardiologist, and today we're going to be talking about SAT versus ACT to boost your grades for college. My daughter and my grandson and my son-in-law were sitting and having a discussion about which one my grandson should be taking, SAT or ACT, and the discussion was going nowhere. My daughter said, "Hey, Daddy, you're an AI geek. Why don't you do some research and find out what are the differences between SAT and ACT and give us all the details? Let's find out as which is the best program and which is the best preparation program that's available in our local area, and what time frame we are looking at, and how to prepare for the test and get better score, and what kind of scores can we expect to get when we do take this prep course." So we're going to be diving deep into a complete analysis or a guide into the topic of SAT versus ACT to boost your grades. We'll tell you everything you need to know. We'll tell you how much it costs, where you can get your preparations, where the tests are held, and how they are scored, and how to make sure that you get into the college you like. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin with the feature presentation. SAT versus ACT to boost your grades, a complete guide by Nik Nikam. SAT and ACT are programs that are designed to have a standardized analysis or evaluation of candidates all across the nation as to how their reading, writing, math, science, arithmetic are compared to other candidates of similar caliber from different parts of the world, the country, I should say. So mainly we have this sort of a prep tests for college. SAT has been around for many decades. ACT is something that is new. So let's look at some key differences between SAT and ACT. Here in the like a cyan color, we have the SAT, and like a light red or orange, we have ACT. So the time allocated for SAT is approximately 3 hours, whereas for ACT it is 2 hours and 55 minutes. So basically it is a 3-hour test. And both of these contain reading, writing, math, and the ACT has an additional science section, which is optional. If you want to take it, you can take it. If you are going into business, arts, or finance, you may not need to spend time on science. But if you're going into medicine or chemical engineering or like computer programming or something like that, you may be interested in doing the science part. I'm a doctor, so I'm a scientist, so that's my favorite field. Anyway, the scoring is like 400 to 1600. You talk about people talking about like scoring a perfect score on SAT. That means they got 1600 out of 1600. Whereas with ACT, the score ranges from 1 to 36, as you can see. I don't know if you can see. Okay, you can see my arrow here, 1 to 36. So that this gives you an idea as to what are the things that are different and similarities between these two groups. Let's move on. And again, this talks about the timings and all these things, and how much of it is math, how much time is allocated for the reading, for science. All of these are spelled out here. You can pause the video and look at these things. The main thing I want to focus is what are the major differences, how these tests are performed, calculated, and all these things, and how they score, depending upon each topic. Also, it depends upon which part of the country you're going to, because if you're going to Texas, SAT score is something that is going to be looked more frequently than if you're going to some of these mid states where ACT is more popular. And anywhere along the East Coast, it's all SAT, because originally the SAT was originated from the East Coast. So whether it's East Coast or West Coast and Texas, you're looking at maybe doing a SAT course so that they are familiar with the score, and that might help you. But if you're going somewhere in the middle, central, or Midwest, then you are looking at maybe taking SAT. But there are some smart students who can ace both SAT and ACT, but we are not talking about them. We are talking about you and me, at least, who can get good grades and get into the college. Okay, here's a comparison between the SAT score and the ACT score. So if you get to like 1100 to 1150, what does that correspond to in an ACT score range? Here is 2225. So if you want to get to 1450 to 1480, then your ACT score has to be 33. The highest is 36. So there's only 3 points difference between 33 to 36, so that you get a better understanding of how this grading is done, so that when you prepare for the test, if you are getting 30 and you want to get to 36, you got a long jump to hoop, and that's an important thing to keep into consideration. And this is looking at the same information with some additional data, and that is both of these programs are offered in a digitized format on a computer. Before, it used to be like paper and question and answer sheets, but now everything is on the computer. The question formats are multiple choice, students reduced response, and the important thing is these tests are given at like local high schools or centers throughout the state on a set date. So you can take this test at home or at a special programs where you can just walk in and take the test any day you want. They are set on certain dates, and you may want to check in your school and see what are the dates available. So you may want to book this in advance so that you will be prepared to take these tests when they are offered, most probably in your own school or at an adjacent school in the local area. We live in zip code 77024, so we have looked at some information which I'm going to show in a couple of minutes. So those are some of the things that we need to keep in mind. Let's move on. And how much is the cost for taking an SAT or ACT? And here's this. The cost is $68 for taking an SAT. An additional score report, if you want a score report, it is $14 each. I mean, this is very, very minuscule compared to what it costs to take one of those prep courses, which we are going to be covering next. And official practice tests, you can get free digital practice tests through Khan Academy. I have a separate slide on Khan Academy, which gives a complete, comprehensive SAT training program, which is being done in conjunction with the College Board, and I'm going to cover that in the next slide coming next. So that let's talk about the rest of the stuff. Programs are accepted widely across the universities, but again, as I said, the map which the heat map which I showed you, the light blue and the red, so that tells you which tests you should be taking if you're going to a particular state. If you're going to like Michigan or somewhere, then SAT is more acceptable. You may want to consider that one. Or if you're going to stay in Texas or go to East Coast, then you may want to consider SAT. Again, there's a strong emphasis on math, emphasis on science here, geometry. So you can just pause this slide and look at some of the details. Can you take this test at home? No. Are the tests given on a particular day? Yes. Do you have to go to a testing center? Yes. Can you take both tests? Yes, you can prepare for both tests, but that's going to be challenging because you may want to take this test in series, not simultaneously. What's the best time to take the test? 11th grade. So this is something I want to underscore. The 11th grade is the best time to take your test, because by that time, if you get good grades, at least one major hurdle for you is sort of completed so that you can focus upon other academic activities and extracurricular activities to boost your eligibility for a college and perhaps maybe a good scholarship. We live in zip code 77024, so we looked at some of the testing centers that are available in our area. The most popular ones, which most of you know, are the Princeton Review, Kaplan Review, and there are a whole bunch of other local programs which have been very successful in the local areas, which may be more convenient for you to attend. As a result, I would say you want to look at several different ones. So for zip code 77024, I pulled up. Here we have a Princeton Review in Houston, Texas, near Kirby Drive. This is in person and online, flexible hours and personal lessons, all these things. The cost ranges from $300 to $1,500. But see, $300 to $1,500 is nothing compared to a cost of going to a college in the Northeast, which could be in upwards of $75,000 a year. So I think we should not skim when it comes to preparing for the ACT or SAT, because the main focus should be getting your grades up. And we're going to talk about which ones can get your grades up by how much. There's a very important slide coming up, so stay tuned. And here is the website for this one, and you can just copy this and you'll be able to go to their website and register directly. There's another one, because this is in the Memorial area. We have a C2 education of Memorial, which also, stays for $1,000. They have a personalized SAT, ACT prep programs, and there's the website. Then Testmasters is a very popular one in Texas, or at least in Houston, and that is something you can look up. It depends upon the locations. There is one in the Memorial area. Again, their fees are similar to that of the Princeton Review. And okay, general things, how long does it take you to prepare for an SAT program? Let's talk about the courses. The courses last anywhere from 5 to 10 weeks. They are 3 hours long. In addition to that, you get their test materials in a digital form, and also complete test exam simulation questions. So you will be able to practice those things so that you will be very well prepared before you sit down for the exam. The books and digital materials typically included or recommended. The cost may vary, and of all the programs, which one has the best record based upon the past performance? Based on the past performance, Princeton Review offers an SAT score anywhere from 1,400 to 1,500 with tutoring program, not just online self-study program. If you have if you join the tutoring program, which may be the high end of the price range, we saw $1,500, then you can improve your SAT score by 150 to 200 points. This is a very important point I want to make out of this entire presentation, because your whole aim of preparing for the test is you take a pre-test. If your score is like 1,300, can you get to 1,500? And what program will help you to accomplish that? And that's the point that's being answered in this particular slide. And as I said, they have 36 hours of live instructions. Live instructions are extremely important, because when you see, when you hear, and when you work on it, your retention is far better than just reading text on a computer monitor, or just reading some instructions without a human voice interaction. I always believe in watching videos versus just watching text descriptions or solving problems. A personal adaptive program with 160-point score improvement guaranteed by Prep Scholar. Then we have the Magoosh. This is for the SAT program. Then we have the Testative Prep Expert. So these are the programs that are available that can improve. So if you are looking for the best return for your investment and your money and time, I think you should look at some of the ones which can get you close to 150 to 200 points increase in your score. And for the SAT, we have the Kaplan, and the SAT score improvement is anywhere from 4 to 6 points. Remember, I told you if you want to go from 30 to 36, which is the highest, that's a long jump. And can any one of these programs do? Most of these programs, say that you can improve your grades by 4 points. So they're pretty much almost similar here. You can just look at this Kaplan, Prep Schooler Test, Magoosh, I never heard of this, Outlier, and Prep Expert. So these are some of the programs that can boost, that can improve your ACT score by 4 points. So you need to analyze this. Go to their individual website. I'm going to give their web links in the coming slides, and check it out and see. Check their prep test, sample test, and see if you like their program, their outline, and whether they have live video instructions or Zoom instructions, things like that. They all make a difference, because if you have a live one, you should be able to ask questions, get them clarified right away. Anyway, score improvement potential: SAT 100 to 200 points, ECT 4 to 6 maximum. So let's be realistic. So we need to keep these things in mind. All right, so let's move on to digital prep books. There are hundreds of digital prep books available all over the bookstores. And should you get all those things? And what is the benefit? If you are taking like an established program like Test Masters or Princeton or Kaplan, they provide you with the digital booklets and all the information that you need to improve your score 100 to 200 points. You need to be spending more time and trying to get confused by getting more digital books. But that's up to you. You can do the research, but I would focus more on improving the score than anything else. The whole thing is about improving your score, the bottom line, so that you can get into the college and perhaps get a scholarship. Best year and prep duration: 11th grade, at least 6 months, I would say. Just study hard. You need to take once in your lifetime. So dedicate several hours a day. Just keep working on it, because this is the most important fundamental time of your life for the next 60, 80 years, so that you lay the proper foundation, you get into the right college. That determines what your future is going to be. The top prep courses, we talked about Princeton, Test Masters, Kaplan, and these are the score improvements that we can expect. Okay, these are the web links here, and I know this is a slide, so you can't see it. So I have put the links here, which are something you'll be able to copy and go to these individual website and review their website and see what they have. Okay, I'm going to spend a few minutes about the Khan's Academy, official DIG SAT preparation. The beautiful part of this is the Khan's Academy, the entire program, the SAT preparation, done in conjunction with the College Board, designed specifically for the new digital format introduced in 2024. The digital format, and the entire program is free. It has all the lessons. It has online videos. It has test questions, and it has a simulated exam which is identical to the one which is given by the SAT board, because it's been sponsored by the College Board. There are thousands of practice questions accompanied by step-by-step hints and analysis, so that you not only learn how to solve these problems, but things that you learn may help you to solve other problems. So in summary, the Khan's Academy program is free, high quality digital SAT prep tailored for the new digital format since 2024. It has personalized practice tests based upon your initial free evaluation test results, and it is accessible online. It is free, and I would say check it out and see which one fits best for you. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to a presentation on SAT versus ACT to boost your grades, which is more acceptable, and a complete guide. I hope this presentation has been useful to you and your high school junior and senior students so that they can get good grades and a better chance of getting into the college they like to or like to get into. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next presentation. Bye. I am Dr. Nik Nikam from Houston, Texas.